Hi all. We are live. We have, I think, I mentioned, I put to Bart, who is the smartest data scientist in Kazakhstan, and Bart said it's Ulzhan Bissarinova, data scientist at Institute of Smart Systems and Artificial Intelligence at Nazarbayev University. Ulzhan is doing a lot of computer vision research and located in Astana, Kazakhstan. I'm located in Almaty. We welcome all community of researchers, developers, managers, and other participants of ecosystem in all world. If you have questions, feel free to write questions in the comments like here. It will be and because I prepared only two questions about Ulzhan's research area and also how what is it to be a researcher, academic researcher located in Central Asia? Is it easy to collaborate with other peers from other countries in the world, and practical implications of research? Is there any barriers, stuff like that? But this is after after short presentation. And Ulzhan, thank you for joining, and word is yours. You can share screen. I will put it to the screen.
Okay, sure. Hello everyone. So today I'm going to give a small presentation generally about the research overall. Just
Ulzhan will be back. Guys, where do you stream from? If you could type in the comments. For me, it's always interesting which countries are watching. Sometimes people from Africa watch, Eastern Europe. I thought it will be only Central Asia, but no. And people from India watch the streams. Usually, Ulzhan is back. Yeah, and usually it's awkward because I'm just talking about the YouTube streaming audience.
Can you hear me?
English? Yes, screen share appeared. Oh, Iskander, hello. I'm glad Iskander is watching. Iskander is a PhD researcher from Kazakh British Technical University in
great.
Specialization in NLP and head of machine learning laboratory at KB2.
Oh, nice to meet you, Iskander. I'm glad you came here. So generally, I prepared some information about research overall because currently, there is a lot of discussions going around AI, and I think not everyone is aware of how research is important for the AI development and what kind of input is being done by the research community overall over the world. I just wanted to give some general broad information about AI research, and then I will talk about my personal research topic, and then probably I will be able to communicate with the audience and answer questions. So actually, development of artificial intelligence started from the question which was posed by Alan Turing: can machines think, right? So actually, as you know, the goal of artificial intelligence is to enable machines to mimic human thoughts and behaviors, including learning, reasoning, and predicting. So basically, we want to create a machine which will be able to act and think like a human. So what is the role of research for solving this task? Actually, this task is quite complicated, and this is quite an ambitious goal, and that's why this question has raised a lot of interest among research community. And here I've just mentioned several companies around the world which are focusing on research in AI, but this is not like the only companies. I guess there are a lot of other organizations within like universities and so on. I just wanted to like highlight how research organizations and communities actually are formed and act as a separate entities. So why this research scientists actually is drawn to this task? Because we actually have scientists who are interested in understanding underlying the basics of intelligence and cognition. So basically they want to understand how human brain works and how this cognitive system works. That's why we actually need the scientists to get involved into this process in order to mimic brain and to apply it for the human operations. And also another group of scientists who are also work in the research sphere is engineering oriented researchers who actually build the systems to make machines behave intelligently. So we actually have several stages for the AI. So first stage is like perception layer. So perception is, for example, if the machine can see or sense like touch or hear what kind of input signals is coming. Another stage is cognitive stage, when actually this input information is being processed and we actually can infer some information from that input signals. And the last stage is decision making stage. So based on the high level information which we have obtained, we want these machines to make decisions based on the input data it has accepted and also processed and analyzed. So in terms of the artificial intelligence infrastructure, we need several parts. Like first part is data. So without data, we will not be able to construct intelligent AI system. Another part is storage and computing. As you know, one of the reasons why AI is becoming so popular right now, and also why we have opportunity to do these advancements in AI, is because computational powers of hardware is now they meet our needs in order to process big amount of data and to run these machine learning algorithms. So machine learning is basically at the moment is at the core of advancements, which makes this AI results possible. And we also have AI frameworks which are developed and being stronger, being improved each year. So this graph might be a little too informative at first glance, but it actually gives more information about, for example, what we mean by infrastructure layer. So as I already told, here we have algorithms, data, storage, computing, and frameworks. In terms of the perception, I said it can be vision or it can be sound input, right? So if we want the computer to see and to process image or video, so it's going to be computer vision. So if you want to hear sound or text, it's going to be speech recognition or synthesis. So at the next layer, as a cognitive layer, for example, natural language processing is already is part of the cognitive layer, because we want to extract information and not just to get the input. And at the decision-making layer is, we can build expert systems or decision-making systems. And overall, all these things together, we can apply it to any of the other fields, such as chemistry, medicine, geoscience, life. Actually, AI, I think we can apply to a lot of to a big range of the other sciences, and then we can incorporate it in our daily life, in the industrial processes or government processes and so on. So this is kind of basically AI framework which captures the whole picture of how AI works overall. So I want to emphasize how AI research trend is being raised each year. So we can see the number of publication is rising each year, and I think this is no wonder. Especially last few years, I think the number of publications is just, we are not even sure we are on track, right? Because everyone is doing a lot of research in AI. Also, by the geographic area, we can see like the Chinese publications are getting a lot of citations over the years. Like, I mean, it's their citations is rising in comparison to US and European Union, but overall, this is like the trend. Also, we have a lot of investments to the AI, and it's also rising from private, public sector, so also other stakes. Generally, we have social and ethical concerns while we talk about AI. We want to make sure there is no risk while we apply AI. I think all researchers over the world, they usually sign ethical consent forms before they start their like research in AI, because we want to make sure AI is used for good and not for bad. So in this regard, we have like this graph which shows that the ethics based papers are also like being mentioned in research as well. So regarding computer vision, since my research area is computer vision, I just put here like a couple of examples of computer vision. One is on the left hand side, you can see object detection. So it actually shows how object is being detected and what kind of information is being like outputted by object detection models. And on the right hand side, we can see image segmentation, which is also another important task in computer vision. But computer vision is not limited by these tasks. There are also like generative AI tasks. Also, you probably have seen a lot of computer vision applications which are work jointly with natural language processing. When we say command, and it then turns it into the picture, and so on and so forth. So regarding my research, actually, before I talk about the research I was working on, I just want to tell like how image is being presented, because the core like data, input data, which we work with is image, and usually most of the data, computer vision data in the world is RGB images. So RGB images is usually like three-dimensional, three matrices. So in red, green, and blue channels. So basically, any kind of RGB images can be, if you just read it as a data, you can see that it's a three-dimensional kind of sensor. But what we are working on is called, event-based cameras. So we are working with event-based imaging and not the RGB images. So what's the difference of event-based imaging from RGB images is that event-based cameras measure only changed pixels. So actually, we want to not like write all the pixels in the frame, but we want to like write down only the pixels which we have changed. Why this is good for us? Because we won't be like wasting our storage and writing all the pixels in the scene. For example, if the scene is not changing, for example, during the night, or on some scenes when there is no action is going on, then those pixels will not be like recorded. Only changed pixels will be recorded. So that's why these event-based cameras, they were raised in 2008. And since then, there has been conducted some research, and basically our research is about face detection on event-based cameras. So what's the advantages of event-based cameras is that it has very high dynamic range. It means that we will not have motion blur. For example, when you have in a scene very fast moving object, usually you have motion blur in your scene, but because of the opportunities event-based camera is choosing, is presenting, will not have this motion blur effect. So it's really good for like recording fast moving objects, and also it's very efficient for the scenes where, for example, for surveillance systems where not a lot of action is going on, so that we don't like waste our storage and also our battery. So we also have latency in order of microseconds. It means that we record every pixel change in microseconds. So this is very high resolution data. So let me quickly show you like the final results in video. But oops, sorry. So this is like how we show we have detected the face and also facial landmarks like in real time. So this is actually our resulting like point which we wanted to show. We have sent our paper for review and it's now under the review. So this is one of the topics we have covered. We also have other ongoing researches, but I didn't include it. Maybe if you want, I can talk about that more. So thanks for listening to me. I think I can go back to the normal mode.
Thank you, Ulzhan. It's a great short overview of latest advancements. Guys, please feel free to type your questions and we will put to the screen. For example, Iskander asks about MOU between, he says it's an MOU between, it's actually, Iskander sent to me direct message this letter. I can share screen. It's here. This is a letter from Iskander. I think you can see mitigating the risk of extinction from AI should be a global priority alongside other risks such as pandemic and nuclear war. And there are people from professors and also Google DeepMind and OpenAI CEO. What do you think of this letter, dear Ulzhan?
I have actually seen this letter, and I've seen different opinions people hold about this, letter. Of course, there are risks, and we should be aware of them. But I also kind of heard one opinion, which also is supported by a lot of other scientists and other people who are kind of have expertise. And what they're saying is that this can be just one of the milestones in the development of humankind. For example, last century was industrial revolution. We also tried to automate labor, human labor, right? So what AI is doing is automating human intelligence. So basically, it's trying to reduce the amount of tasks which are repeated, right? So we don't want we want minimize human intelligence labor which is used currently. So because right now most of the physical labor is being already automated. So what AI is doing is basically, I think, it's just the next level of human development. So to be honest, in theoretical, of course, it's very risky. But looking at the development stage right now, I think there is no at the moment we shouldn't be afraid of that, because even this intelligent assistant tools which we are using, they still have we just should be aware that they are not 100% true what they're saying. We should always fact check, and there is still a lot of room for improvement. I think they are not at their ideal stages. There is still a lot of things that need to be done to make them perfect. So at this stage, we shouldn't be afraid, I think. But also my personal opinion is that if we will automate human intelligence labor, then we'll be able to find ourselves, maybe we will be able to develop ourselves in terms of creativity, because I think in terms of the creative tasks, AI might not be able to fully cover, because it integrates all the past information. But if it's completely something new, probably this comes from the people themselves. So I think my overview is mostly positive, but of course we should have some limitations and the rules probably to overcome the risk of being misused, of AI being misused. So I think we should set up some rules and guidelines. But overall, my view, I personally, for some reason, is not very afraid of that, because I can see a lot of room for improvement. Still, they are not at the ideal stage, in my view.
Thank you. Comprehensive answer. Guys who are watching can type your questions, and don't forget subscribe, and there is a bell sign so you get notified about our streams. And question in engineering, in your first slide, it was two types of researchers who are from big science, and second type from engineering who produce solutions. And if in the kind of outside scientific world, if just simple engineers or startup community, sometimes they feel localized people. Almaty startup people or some software engineers, they work in Almaty-based IT companies in Kazakhstan market, for example. Might be similar thing happening, might be in Tashkent, for example, and other. And there is some mental barrier to go globally. There are some bunch of other barriers. In terms of these barriers, how is it going in academia? How difficult is it to collaborate with global other partners? And second, also question, how difficult maybe to collaborate with industry in terms of to implement some prototypes of research outcome? This is actually two big questions. Thank you.
No, it's fine. Basically, I think in terms of the research, I just want to give you one example regarding, like, I will start from the end, okay? So how it is difficult to collaborate with industries across the globe. So here at ISI, we have one project which is called text-to-speech and speech-to-text conversion of Kazakh language. So basically, since it was one of the first projects overall, I think, in the globe, we have received a lot of requests from top companies such as even Google, like Apple, because they needed these models, and because actually this research output was very significant. They didn't have this Kazakh conversion models, Kazakh language conversion models. So, it was working quite good, I think, and it is widespread in usage both in Kazakhstan and outside Kazakhstan, because there is no other competitives, I would say, right? So, but in terms of collaborations, in terms of the research itself, I think it's important to have something like bridging, someone bridging. Probably we, as I mentioned, in my case, like right in the case of research institute we work at, is our director, because he himself is not like Kazakhstani citizen. So he has already some good reputation in terms of the research output in the academic area. So that's why we have this kind of bridge. But this is like the first factor. But second factor is also the quality of your work. So if your work is done qualitatively, you also consider when you do when you cite other research works, you also cite very good other research papers. So so quality of your work actually means a lot, I think. So if the quality is good and your research novelty which you are introducing is also very significant, I think there is a good chance to get this recognition. Also, maybe when you apply to the journals, there is a big range of journals you can apply to. So step by step, I think it's possible to get good results in academia. Personally, I feel more comfortable getting this, recognition or collaboration in academia for some reason, rather than in industry, because industry is somehow business related, and also there are a lot of factors which affect. But in academia, first of all, you can feel that you are doing some input because of the novelty of the research on the one hand, and on the second hand, I think academic community, they have their own standards, their own rules, which if you follow, you can, I think, succeed.
Thank you. So there are different roles in academia. By roles, different roles, what do you mean?
Different roles in academia?
Yeah,
Rules.
Rules.
Yeah, rules, I mean,
Okay.
like, for example, for publishing paper, like what kind of significance it has, what kind of novelty you are introducing in terms of AI. As I mentioned in my presentation, for AI, there is novelty in terms of the data sets. For example, introducing new data set is a novelty, but also like presenting a model which uses this data set is also novelty. If your model like it performs better than existing models in the industry, it's also a novelty. So kind of you just need to understand in which like category you are presenting your novelty, and you should just have a good comprehensive review of existing research and just show significance of your research. So there is just rules by research committee.
Thank you for clarifying. Question from Iskander. What is your opinion on recent ChatGPT fad? Many people went crazy about this and even say NLP tasks are now solved. But there was an article by Ed Hovey saying there are lots of questions to the large language models, whether they have right answers for wrong reasons.
Yes, Iskander, thank you for your question. Indeed, this ChatGPT release, I think it created a lot of like discussions, and people really went truly crazy about ChatGPT. But if you like study carefully the answers it gives, you still need to do your own input. So I'm not sure if NLP question is fully solved. There is still room for improvement, as I mentioned, and also I have just read one opinion by Jan Lipun. If you know, he's just I think he's Turing Award winner and also head of Meta AI, and he was like having this opinion that large language models might not be the eventual solutions to the like goal of AI, to the development of AI, because it relies on the like big input data, and also like you know, we should have big computational powers to run these large language models. And he was suggesting that we might actually find new another architectures which will go even deeper in terms of question answering and having more thoughtful answers probably. So to some extent, yes, we can just see that we went, for example, before it was just Siri or other assistants, and now we have this ChatGPT, which is one step went further. But I think this is not fully solved yet. People probably just excited because they didn't know what's happening, and they have big excitement. And this is great because this is truly like advancement. But I personally see like a room for improvement, as I mentioned before.
Thank you. So academics have nothing to fear. Still in NLP there are a lot of room. Maybe this is connected to these hallucinations, right? This is LLM. I mean, ChatGPT produces hallucinations, wrong answers, etc., non-replicable. Because I know Iskander is doing some serious NLP research, that's why he's asking.
Yeah, okay.
If nobody have questions, we will soon finish because we booked time of Ulzhan for 45 minutes. But if you have questions, feel free to put them, throw them here. One last question from me. Where do you see yourself maybe after like 10 years? Yeah, research?
Okay. No, not research. I like research, and I think this is my current like stage of my career is probably related to research. I was thinking a lot like where I want to be eventually, and I think I would launch my own like product or like service because I think this is very inspiring goal for any engineer. So before I was serving for other organizations and companies, and right now I'm doing research, I just wanted to have a comprehensive experience and background as possible. But eventually I think it was a good idea to provide some service or product to a world which would benefit all people. So I think probably I'm seeing myself as someone who will be leading my own product or service, like hopefully in 10 years.
Awesome. And I wish you good luck with this noble goal.
Thank you.
Hi, Jovan Reboletto. Is AGI more a philosophical concept than a well-defined one? What are the concrete features a complete AGI system must have? Wow, this one is tough. AGI is artificial general intelligence.
Intelligence.
And thank you, Jovan, for second question. Turing test has already passed question.
So yes, this is really a tough question. I think probably I would measure the impact of artificial general intelligence by the results it provides. Does it actually helps businesses or people? Does it actually solve the problem? Is there any improvement if it was done purely by the person, or do we have any improvement because we use, for example, this we use this AI tools, or do we still have the same results or even worse, right? So I would measure it by the impact it makes on people in terms of their profit or efficiency or time. So it can be like one of these: either it saves your time, or it cuts your costs, or it boosts your efficiency. So if any of these are getting improved, I think it means that we are close to getting this AGI.
Next question from Jovan. According to Ray Kurzweil and his definition of singularity, what aspects should AI scientists should be inspired from or guided from these futuristic defined concepts? Thank you for question. Love the singularity stuff. By the way, we'll have a chapter in Almaty, singularity chapter, which will soon have events with GTGs jointly. This is not from Jovan. I added this piece. Yes. The question: what aspects should AI researchers should be inspired from concepts? Actually, if you don't know the concept of Ray Kurzweil, it's impossible to answer. I actually don't know what was.
Yes, I also, to be honest, don't know. I didn't answer the question regarding Turing test. I actually I don't know if Turing test has been passed or no. But I've heard that it has. I cannot be sure, but I think I've read somewhere that it has passed Turing test. What does it mean? So I don't know the concept of singularity, unfortunately. But I think what should be your inspiration is, I would say probably I personally get inspired from the fact that we improve human life. So if anything, human life is being improved in one way or another, I know I personally feel big satisfaction. I was very, very excited when I first heard how Siri works. It was, I don't know, back in 2012 or 11, and it was just mind blowing for me at the time. That. It can hear you and give you answer, even if it was simple questions. Also, because I get interested in this topic, I also took one course when I was doing my bachelor's, and I chosen Siri as the topic of my presentation for AI agents. And I've seen that this futuristic concept.
This is. I remember singularity is futuristic concept that AI will be as smart and human, and we will be jointly living AI, and people will go to the future.
Okay, I see. Yeah, okay, I see. So I was just saying that I've seen this futuristic concept of this agent, AI agent it was created back in 1975 or so. Like it was almost like 30 years ago they created this concept how this AI agent is going to answer it, and then in 2010 or maybe it was early, I don't know, they actually started creating this AI agents which can assistants which can answer your questions. So I understood that these concepts, they appear much earlier than we actually make them possible. Regarding singularity, I think this is the eventual goal to which we should come. I'm not sure how we are going to come to this, but we are going to live in in harmony with AI. I think this way will come, just like it happened with labor automation. Right now, I think everyone feels very comfortable with automating labor tasks, and we are like striving for this. So this is the same is going to be for AI, I think. This is my point of view.
Thank you. Yeah, this futurism is difficult to predict. And thank you for your time. Maybe we should repeat this someday. This is will be. I'm sure many people will watch because you represent this group which is famous for this translating Kazakh speech corpus, and also you have this autonomous driving, KAMAZ, and many other advanced stuff. I wish you good luck, and maybe let's discuss other topics. We have some other questions. We could invite you, and thank you guys for watching. Please type comments after the recording. We can still answer questions in the recording. And dear Ulzhan, thank you very much. I wish you a great evening.
Thank you a lot for inviting. It was a pleasure to talk to you and give this speech. Thank you a lot.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.